What's going on, you guys? Kid behind a camera here.
Oh wait, I'm not Pickle Boy.
Hey, what is up guys, Vanos here.
Oh wait, I'm not Vanos.
I don't need no love, all I need is the DJ. I don't need no love, all I need is the DJ.
Hey, what is up guys? This is DJ Overspin and today is my DIY project on vehicles. Let's go ahead and check out what kind of DIY project I am getting into today. This is my DIY project on the turn signal lamp for a 2001 Chevy Blazer. This is the aftermarket lens that I got, comes with the fog lamp. So instead of having a halogen in the turn signal lamp, I'm going to be turning into an LED turn signal lamp. So let's go ahead and take the other fixture off and let's go ahead and see if we can, modify it with LEDs. Alright guys, now that I have my turn signal fixture out of my truck, it's time to go ahead and separate the casing with the lens. And the lens is a little bit dirty, as you can tell, because of all the bugs that I've been in combat with for months and months, and it's time to clean off the bug guts from the battle on the road, after I actually do the LED transformation. So let's go ahead and take the lens off, and let's go ahead and start our work. There you go. Alright, now that I got the fixture off, a little bit of trying to pry it off and everything, this is what the inside of the lens looks like. As you can see, it's all like plastic and whatnot, a little bit of aluminum look to it, but it's all plastic. And this is the lens right here, which this is not very important in order for you to mess around with, the lens. And now it's time to go to our main components to actually put our LEDs in place and actually have our lights put in. So this is what you need. Let's set this to the side. So all you need right here for the lens is the main board. The main board, or not the main board, but the LED board. The LED board is for your LEDs to go in place, and all you have to do is just sit there and align your LED board. This is actually too small because I've actually cut through this. But you have to sit there and align your board, and then put holes, like with a Sharpie and whatnot, and actually mark little holes where the LEDs are going to go. Like so. And since LEDs go in a little bit more, this is what you'll see on the LED board, which I already have one drawn out, which I'll show you. Here's right here. This is how I know which LED is what, and it's a little bit dirty. So yeah, this is where each LED goes, and I'm gonna go ahead and draw a line across here and whatnot, so I can actually keep it within the confines of the little fixture that I have right here. So let's go ahead and draw this line, and let's go ahead and cut this part right up here and cut this little part right up here. Alright, now that I have it all cut off and everything, it's a little bit hot so I can't touch it much, but you can see that I have the LED board actually cut up and ready to actually be used for soldering. So this is actually optional or mandatory for any kind of head or turn signal light that you have. So this is what I have done to my other LED circuit board to actually make it look really cool inside the lens. So let's go ahead and go over to the other booth. Alright, now that I'm at the other station that I am at right now, I am going to go ahead and take a look at the little circuit board that I have right here. That's for the LED board, and look on the other end. As you can see that the other end, you could tell that there is an LED circuit board behind here. So in order for you to hide what it looks like on the inside, you know, viewing it from outside, you gotta have it masked, or if you want it, you can have it black, you can have it silver, you can have it any color you want, as long as it doesn't shine out the color that you have painted it. So I already went with silver, and this is like kind of like a brilliant metal chrome silver paint. So what I'm gonna do is I got packaging tape to actually protect the circuitry so that I don't paint over that and ruin the whole circuitry when painting. So go ahead and take the tape. I might have to use this right here. This is what I use to actually paint over the circuit board. There you go. Just put a little bit of scotch tape over the circuitry. Make sure you get all the holes, all the cracks out of there so that you don't have paint on the circuitry. And if you do that, you'll ruin the circuitry and you probably have to start all over again. And you don't want to start all over again. You want to keep on going. So now that I have it all taped up, it's all pretty good. Now I'm going to go ahead, put it over here. And I'm going to go ahead and spray paint it. Alright, good clear coating right there. Good and pretty well actually. It's very, very shiny. So let's go ahead and let this thing dry, and let's go ahead and move on to the main board, which is your board that actually transfers the power to the LED board. So let's go back to our first station. Okay, now that we're back at our main station, here's one of the circuit boards that I've actually used. I tried doing kind of like drawings on it so I can actually make my own LED board with what I had, but apparently this is too small and I messed up on my first try. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pretty decent sized chunk out of this LED board, or this main board, and go ahead and use that for our next step in making the LED turn signal light for, you know, the 2001 Chevy Blazer. And you could do this for any other kind of vehicle that you have with aftermarket turn signal lights that other lights don't have LEDs on it and everything. You want like a cool design little look on your vehicle with LEDs and matches with the regular turn signal light that you have. So let's go ahead and take a little small piece out of this and use that as our main board. Alright, well I kind of nicked it a little bit, but it ain't gonna be that bad since I don't really need that little portion right there. All I need is a little board to actually hold the other components that I need. So let's go ahead and wait for the LED board to actually dry up, and we'll see you at the soldering table. Alright, here I am over at my little soldering table that I have my main board right here, and my main board and my LED board right here. And right now what I'm going to be starting out with is my LED board. So I'm going to set this to the side. Okay, now that you see all my circuitry is actually all preserved in this tape, where the other side is just all silver. It looks pretty nice. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this tape. Like so, and now you have a little decorative piece of tape. So you could use this tape anywhere you want. So I'm going to go ahead and expose this tape since I don't even need tape anymore. And now it's on to putting the LEDs in the correct place. Now in order for you to find out which side you want negative and which side you want positive, just choose a side. It doesn't really matter, because you know that's all basically what you need to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my permanent marker, wherever it may be. Oh, there it is. And I'm going to go ahead and choose this side. I'm going to zoom in right over here. And over here. So I'm going to go ahead and choose which side I want as my positive. So I'm going to go ahead and use this side as my positive, and I'm just going to mark right over here. Positive. Not the best looking little positive sign right there, but it is a positive. At least I'll know exactly, because you know, later on. And I'm gonna make this side as negative, so I'm just gonna put a negative right over here. Very hard to see, but it's pretty logical that you can actually see a negative and a positive. So now it's on to the LED part, to solder in the LEDs. So I have my soldering machine right over here. It has everything that I need, the solder points and everything. And I also have my resin core solder. And you know, it doesn't matter what kind of solder you get, as long as you don't get the acid resin core acid core. So the resin core looks like this. Very easy to bend and whatnot. Very easy to use. So let's go ahead and view the LEDs that I'm going to be using, and they are the 8mm amber LED lights. I'm going to go ahead and grab one so you can actually tell what they look like. So the LED looks like this. It's a really good looking LED. You know, 8mm is really big, as you can tell. And to tell from the different parts of it, the long end is actually the positive and the short end is the negative. So that actually tells you which side to actually put everything on. So I'm going to go ahead and plug up my solder machine, and I'm going to go ahead and put in my first LED. Alright, now that I have my first LED soldered in, as you can tell that it actually gives you a little gap. So since my my lens actually is a little bit slanted, it's actually very good to have these LEDs because you can actually adjust it. So I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of the LEDs on, and let's see what it looks like afterwards. Would you look at that? Okay, yes. I've actually soldered all the positive and negative ends together, and as you can tell, they're all connected. I had to do my own way of soldering them together, and this is what it looks like on the other end. It looks pretty nice, right? So let's go ahead and do a little power test. And in order for us to do a power test, I have this 9-volt battery that tests the power on the LED bulbs. So let's go ahead and zoom out. There you go. I'm gonna place one end, which is the positive end. Let's see. I need my wire to be connected to the positive. Alright, negative here, and seems like everything's working. So let's go ahead and turn this thing around. Which one's negative? That one's negative. Alright, so let's go ahead and test the other side so that we can test to see if all the LEDs work. Let's see. Positive end over here. If I can actually get it. Oh, nope. See if I could actually do this without blowing up any LEDs. Actually, I'm going to try switching my hand around. It's kind of hard to actually do this. There you go. Seems like all of them are working. So, now that we have all that hooked up, now we can set this to the side for the other step. Our next step is the main board. So the main board is very small, as you can see, which will fit really good on the back of this board right here. So it'll just sit right inside the casing while this shines out through the lens. So what you need for this main board are 2 voltage regulators, which are very easy to actually read. I'll go into detail about that. Then you need your 2 diodes. They're little diodes that actually restrict power from rerouting. And last but not least, 270 ohm resistors, and they're resistors to bring resistance to the voltage to, you know, lower the voltage on one end. And this is going to be for your low beam. And 270 ohm is like the highest one I can get, which I only need one. So let's go ahead and start with the voltage regulators. Voltage regulators are used to regulate the voltage, to keep a steady voltage to each end. Now, in order for you to read a voltage regulator, there are 3 prongs. Let it focus. Focus. There you go. There are 3 prongs. I'm sorry for my nails, they're nasty. There are 3 prongs. One side is for the input. The middle one is here. Let's see if I can do it better than this. Alright. This is for your input. This is for your negative. And this is for your output. So it's got to be the same. If you switch it around, it's not going to work. So what I did over here is take my circuit board right here, and I'm just going to insert one end right over here inside these holes, as you can see here. And then all I have to do is move it to the other end right here. As you can see, you know, it looks great. So all I have to do is bend one prong to one of these tabs on the end. That's for the input. Now the negative goes towards the middle prong, which goes to your negative, right over here, as you can tell. And then the output, just move it to the outside. It doesn't really matter. So this is what it'll look like on one side. So for the high beam, or low beam, either way. You're gonna have the voltage regulator facing in the right direction, and make sure you get it in the right holes to go for the next little prong for the input, in the middle for the negative. So I'm gonna go ahead, move to the other end, and I'll just move this prong to there, move the other prong out, and this middle prong to the center. Make sure they're actually facing the right way. Looks like they are. So now it's time to solder and see how it looks.